Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
I've been driving to Moose Jaw to go visit the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek, and that you see it on the south side of the highway. How I saw it was, I'm like, that looks really cool. What is that up there? And then I saw a bunch of guys running around. Pop, 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 pop. That's what it was.
When's the last time you did paintball?
1998 in Calgary.
Would you do it again?
Prairie Storm paintball. Of course I'd do it again.
Okay.
Perry Shockey, are you watching right now in Lethbridge, Alberta? We had a fun team event with the Regina Pats. Split the team in two, the staff and everything. And I shot Perry Shockey in the back with my paintball gun. He was on my team.
How about that?
Sorry, Shocks!
By accident or on purpose?
On purpose!
Of course. Hey, Perry.
23 years later, the cat's out of the bag. Bah! It was me!
And you're looking over your shoulder. Who got you?
I know. I can't remember if that was the last. Well, I was doing it one time in PA with the Raiders. Dennis Pedersen, Shane Toporowski, 90.
Oh, man.
And I'll never forget, we were fighting the local paintball club. It was the Raiders against the local guys. And they gave us a bunch of guns, Darren, that the balls went bloop. And they had the high-powered, like they could have gone to war in Iraq with these things. And I'll never forget, I was wearing a mask, but it didn't cover my whole head. I got smoked right here.
Oh.
With one of these I could have died. I threw my gun down and tried to find the guy. He took off running.
It.
Yeah, screw the paint gun. I'm going to rip. Yeah.
Well, you don't have a glass jaw, we found out.
No, I can take a punch, as I've found out the hard way over the years.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
we are airing in Boston, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C.
how about that?
Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Arizona, Colorado, Oklahoma, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Vermont, Maine. I've been everywhere, man.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Tuesday, and welcome everybody to Canada's daytime sports talk show. It is episode number 565. We are emanating from the bunker, and here's a new one on Game Plus TV in Toronto.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
It is a brand new week. Hope you all enjoyed your Labor Day weekend, wherever you may be, all across the continent, as we are on Game Plus and also streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live at rodpedersen.com. Are you okay, Moose? You're fidgeting over there.
Right?
You're knocking things over.
Having a morning. No, we're good.
Are you really?
No.
I was on the phone this morning doing an interview in Canada's only border city, Lloydminster, and you know those boys up there. Mm-hmm. Bucky, when it was over, he's like, "Who's on your show today, Rod?" I'm like, "I don't even know, Bucky. How about that? I don't even know." He's like, "What do you mean? You go to air in an hour?" Yep, that's how we roll here. And as I look on the board, Rich Sutter will be with us, our NHL Insider, and also Shawn Simpson, who's a guy that I said to Clark over the weekend, if you don't have anything booked yet for the week, give Simmer a call in Ottawa and see what he's up to, because he's been very loquacious and verbose on Twitter about all things NHL, but particularly the Senators. Yep. And I thought, let's get Simmer on the air. And like within 5 minutes, Clark's like, "Simmer's in." I'm like, perfect.
Pretty efficient.
How about that?
Yes, both of them. But before we go any further and jump into what we normally do on these first day of the week, well, let's do the RPShow Summer Photo Album presented by Great Western Brewing Company, because I want to know what you all did this weekend, over the Labor Day weekend, because it seems like a long time ago since we were all in here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like a long time ago.
It really was.
Which is a good thing. That means that you love your place of work, I guess, that it seems like a long time. So let's go. Can we get the photos? That actually came from my good friend, the sports doctor, Dave Patrician, from his seats at the Labor Day Classic 57. That is not a bad shot from an iPhone.
He had great seats. I was following his social. He had great seats.
Thank you, sports doctor, for the photo. This is one of the greatest photos I believe I've ever taken. And that's not the full show. That's like cut off, but that's at Kenosee Lake. That's right in front of the Moosehead for the most part. See the guy with the cowboy hat?
Oh, yeah.
Fishing on the dock. That's where I spent the weekend.
That's one of the greatest spots in the province.
Oh, I did a little moseying on down to Carlisle. Proud home of Brendan Morrow and Jim McKenzie, 2 NHLers. The sign's a little faded, Carlisle.
Have you made any headway on getting it changed?
Well, I'm shaming them on social media by saying you need to add Cale and Hayden Fleury of the Seattle Kraken. Did you know that Carlisle is the cornerstone of Saskatchewan?
I did not.
I did not until I looked at the entrance signs. And then one of our 2 interns starting this morning, Olivia, she's from Kenosee Lake. Can you imagine growing up in that beautiful spot?
How about that?
Man, that is... that's a shot of luck right there. What's this?
This was the Humboldt Golf Club. Was there golfing in a tournament. We played 54 holes in 2 days. You can imagine what that was like. But it was awesome. They were really hospitable, got to see everybody. And I believe Dave and Jen, the couple I was golfing with on Sunday, said they were going to watch today. So I wanted to say hi to Dave and Jen.
Hey.
And then we wandered over to Saskatoon, and that's breakfast in Saskatoon.
That looks amazing.
Right downtown by the river in Saskatoon. And
what else? Is that it? That's it? Okay, that's a pretty good weekend right there, getting out and about. Share with us how you're enjoying the summer and get a chance to be featured on the RP Show by using the hashtags RP Show or GW Beer Summer. And speaking of Game Plus Television, I see Shawn McCormick's in the control room. Shawn's at the controls today. He says, happy Tuesday, RP Squad. Spent the weekend watching the Jays, but made time for the Ticats. Worried about the O-line, but they're back, baby. Yeah, that's the point. And in our quick six, we're going to cover CFL, NFL, college football, NHL, the Blue Jays, and tennis. But can we hit the quick six show topics, please? Thank you, Director Jordan. The warm-up's brought to you by E-Cold Electric, of course. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center, E-Cold Electric. Let's get to work. Let's do a recap of Labor Day weekend in the Canadian Football League, because that's what a lot of you came here for. Friday night was a dreadful game. I watched that at White Bear Lake. Bear Claw Casino and Lodge. The Montreal Alouettes destroyed the Ottawa Red Blacks 51-23. Actually, 51-29. In a game that had 80 points scored. How could it be so bad? But it was terrible. But the Alouettes are who we thought they were, and unfortunately, so are Ottawa.
Yeah.
Let me move on to Sunday's Labor Day Classic, which was not a classic. For those that don't know, it was the 57th Labor Day Classic between age-old rivals Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, and the Blue Bombers came in and had their way with the Rough Riders to the tune of 23-8. We could spend 2 hours on that football game alone because the analytics show most of our viewers are in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, but I'll just say, for now, the Blue Bombers are the number one team in the CFL. They showed it. Saskatchewan can turn around and redeem themselves, totally redeem themselves, Harry, if they go into Winnipeg and win on Saturday, but I don't know whether they will or not. I think that the odds makers will have the Bombers favored by 5-6 points, but I can't believe how upset people are in the rectangle over their Rough Riders losing and not playing well, and Cody Fajardo, the quarterback, coming out and taking all the blame and said it was the worst game he's ever played. That's a leader right there because it wasn't his fault. I could get into the stats. Riders lost the turnover battle 4-2, the sack battle 3-1. Were outrushed 125-65. It was complete line of scrimmage domination by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So we'll see what happens in the back end of the home and home. But I think what I love, it tickled me, was the amount of people that haven't forgotten that I donned a Winnipeg Blue Bombers jersey on this show, and I wore it out and about. Listen!
Spicy!
You bet. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have been really, really, really good to me. And so you can cheer for both teams. I used to, when people, I'm cheering for both teams. I'm like, what? What are you, Satan? In any sport.
Right.
Now I get what they were saying. And maybe people that are all over me for becoming a Blue Bomber supporter should realize that you open your mind a little bit and realize there is life after green. And, so I was happy for my boy Willie, Zach, and all those guys. Richie Hall. Good guys over there in Winnipeg.
Good guys. Nick Dembski, who played the Riders and now starring with Winnipeg.
There's a lot of them. Patty Neufeld.
There's a lot of them. But you start with Zach. And, I mean, he's really, since he left, he's come back into Saskatchewan and kind of owned this place, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. A little bit. He's owned Mosaic Stadium. So, No, Winnipeg looked really, really good. They dominated. Cody was under pressure all afternoon. It was not a fun game if you're a Rider fan. And that's cause for concern heading into next week.
I felt the heat.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off the social media on the weekend and just how upset people were.
And blindly just throwing the blame at everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And then on Monday, the doubleheader, I didn't see a snap of Hamilton beating Toronto 32-19 at the Coffee Cup at Tim Hortons Field, but the Ticats are clearly back. And I don't know what the Argos are. And then I'm a little surprised that Edmonton went into Calgary and won 32-20. I think it was 12 or 14 years it's been since Edmonton won in Calgary on Labor Day weekend. So kudos to them.
I'd say.
Yeah, the reindeer there, the elk. And so before I move on to my next point, the poll question. Oh, I can't. Can you put up the poll? I was in the middle of tweeting this and my show links, and I can't. Do you have results? Here
I can pull it up, too.
You can pull it up on Twitter. What are the storylines coming out of Labor Day weekend in the CFL? What's the top storyline?
Yeah.
The Elks are for real. The Ticats are back. Are the Riders in trouble? And VA, Vernon Adams is back. Who's leading on Facebook, Moose?
Riders in trouble is leading 38%.
Whoa.
And a lot of that narrative goes back even a couple of weeks when the offense struggled against Ottawa to put up points. Well, they put up 12 points against the Ottawa defense, and now you struggle to put up points against Winnipeg, who have a very good defense, but Riders in trouble. I think people are concerned. Ticats are back is a close second at 31%. Ticats look for real with Dane Evans, a quarterback.
So that's the CFL notes. By the way, yes, yours truly broke the story yesterday that Derek Moncrief, the former LA Rams and Vegas Raiders linebacker, has signed with the Edmonton Elks. People were writing me all night saying, Rod, are you not, other media actually writing me saying, are you not upset that TSN's crediting Farhan for that story and 3 Down Nation's taking credit for it? I don't care, brother. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't matter. You know. That's all that needs to know.
That's right.
On Twitter, Riders in Trouble is leading there too, 41%. So moving on, I was a little surprised this morning to open up my inbox and see from USA Today their power rankings in the National Football League. You've heard, Moose, that it opens Thursday night, right?
I've heard.
With America's game. The Dallas Cowboys at Tampa Bay, my 2 favorite teams. And I'm not sure I'm even going to watch because I think it's going to be roadkill. There's a very good chance that we're going to be on the road anyways. So anyways, the power rankings here, feel free to agree or disagree. And you know what? Chime in with your comments would be great. And the Prairie Mobile text line is open too, 306-840-8777. Number 1 team in the National Football League heading into kickoff Thursday night is the reigning Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns. Spell check. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns.
It's hard to digest, hey?
What? Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills. Number 6, the Los Angeles Rams. Number 7, the Tennessee Titans. Number 8, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 9, the San Francisco 49ers. And number 10, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I've got the entire list here. I was a little annoyed that the New England Patriots are ahead of the Dallas Cowboys with a rookie quarterback in the name of Mac Jones. I'm kind of wondering if these guys were smoking the electric lettuce. You know what I'm saying? With some of these rankings. They've got Houston dead last, by the way.
I think everybody's got Houston dead last.
T-Mobile starting. T-Mobile starting, by the way, in week 1 for the Houston Texans. If it matters, they've got Detroit, the 2nd worst team. The Philadelphia Eagles, the 3rd worst team. How do the Eagles fans feel about that?
Yeah.
They got rid of Carson Wentz for a reason, went with Jalen Hurts. That's supposed to be the cure for all that ails them.
But they don't have a lot of support around Jalen Hurts. There's not a strong supporting cast there, so they're going to need somebody to step up and make a statement if they're going to be better than the basement in the National Football League.
So on Friday, we talked very briefly, and when I say briefly, 5 minutes maybe, on college football. And the numbers went up. The comments increased exponentially. And when I got off the air, people were writing me saying, you guys got to talk about college football? It was so refreshing. It was a nice change. And here's what I think. Here's my team. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, yeah, man. If you're in, I'm in. And I spent all day Saturday watching college football at White Bear, in between walks and things like that. Obviously, I enjoyed College Game Day Preview. So Alabama won. I said on Friday the Crimson Tide are my number one team for two reasons. One, growing up, I always knew they would be on cable television in this area because it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. And their young quarterback, Bryce Young, in his first game Saturday against Miami, threw 4 touchdown passes. In his first game. Do you know who held the record prior with 3? Joe Willie Namath.
Wow.
Broadway Joe. So we might have the next one here with the Alabama Crimson Tide. And the other reason is a lot of friends that have come through that program. Tuscaloosa is on my bucket list. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get there or not because I've got a lot of items ahead of it on the bucket list. And then I'm following Texas Hook'em Horns for their coach, Steve Sarkisian, who's a good friend. And they won their opener over Louisiana Lafayette. Clemson lost to Georgia. LSU lost to UCLA in some great football games. And then last night, Ole Miss, do you see them having their way with Louisville? That one was on TSN.
Well, I know. And
kicked their ass.
A.J. Brown, Titans' #1 receiver, who's a Ole Miss alum, and he's on Twitter saying, we want Bama, right? We want Bama.
Started already.
I know. And flexing a little bit. And the Irish, Notre Dame, they won in overtime.
Primetime game.
It was a great weekend of college football.
Actually, Brian Kelly, the coach, said, do you see what he was asked about his team's execution, and he said he was in favor of it? Yeah.
Okay.
On SportsCenter, the anchors were saying, that's not funny anymore, Coach Kelly. I still think it's hilarious. What do you think of your team's execution, Coach? I'm in favor of it. That's still funny, isn't it? Nervous smiles from our interns on the couch. It's a new era, Darren.
Might be time to retire that one, Rod.
What? He's not serious. I still think it's hilarious. I'm sorry. Ray in the 6 writing in from the 416. Hey, Rod, I was on vacation the last couple of weeks, but I caught a few episodes on YouTube. Good to be back with the squad. Have a good show. Just Ray in the Kitchener, Ontario area pointing that out. Something happened to the phone again.
Okay.
Hey. Androids. Oh, it's just this thing's... Can you turn it on and off? That's always fix it, right? Turn it on and off?
Sure.
Point 4, I'm so tired of Jesperi Kotkaniemi to Carolina story. Like, NHL, can you do something?
Whoa.
Do something newsworthy. See what happened?
It's like double screen.
It went all haywire on me.
I'll fix it.
Tim in Montreal is watching. He says, Rod, don't forget U Sports football has started too. We will get to that. Steven Sawchuk, Bomber fan, says, miss seeing you at the Armory pregame this year. Well, it is COVID times. From Ken Kajowski on Facebook says, snowflakes have no sense of humor anymore. I mean, again, Coach Brian Kelly was being eschewed for making the joke about his team being executed. He's not serious. Can you not make a joke anymore?
Apparently not.
Clearly not.
Clearly not.
Hey, we're running out of time here, and we got Rich Sutter coming up, but how about those Blue Jays? Like, I don't understand. I've said it a million times. I'm bilingual, fluent in this country's 2 official languages, hockey and football. Baseball is another language to me, even though I grew up watching it. I thought the Blue Jays were out. What the hell? They're 3 games out of a wild card spot. They smacked around the Yankees 8-0 at Yankee Stadium yesterday. Are you in or are you out, Blue Jays? And if you're this close, I can see why the real ardent, hardcore Blue Jays fans were so upset this year when the games they pissed away. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because they could be leading the division if they had just grown up a little bit. So I get why they were so upset. I guess they are that good.
Yeah.
Then they better make the playoffs then. But this is why I saved getting very upset for my teams like the Dallas Cowboys, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Regina Pats. I just don't have that investment with the Blue Jays. But now I can see why people were so mad.
Oh, yeah.
All summer long.
Well, you're invested in this team, and you know how good they are. And just, it was mistakes, right? Just mental mistakes, little mistakes in the bullpen, and they could be in a much better spot. But they're still talented enough to be in the mix.
How about this one? Jeffrey Townend, watching on YouTube, says, hi, Rod. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Love the show. You're becoming a Canadian icon. Becoming? The Stampeders can't actually miss the playoffs, can they?
Oh, we're going to... Spicy.
Well, listen. Bo Levi Mitchell has missed all but 2 games, and they haven't been able to win. They're 1-2 without him. You take the number 1 quarterback off any team in this league, they're done.
Yeah.
So if the Calgary Stampeders do miss the playoffs, they've got a ready-made, built-in excuse that Bo Levi is not playing. He's got a broken leg. And so they could miss the playoffs, and that's the reason why right there. We'll kick more of that around later. Rich Sutter joins us next. This has been the warm-up for Ecole Electric. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of The Rod Peterson Show.
Welcome back, everybody. There are a lot of questions coming in on the Prairie Mobile text line. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer, headquartered in Winnipeg. And they are 100% CFL related, of course. So we'll get to those coming up later on here in hour one. But we're going out on video chat now to join our NHL Insider and good and longtime friend, Rich Sutter, who I was thinking of on Saturday, Richie, because you called it that Jesperi Kotkaniemi would be going to Carolina and that the Habs would not match the offer sheet. It happened, and he's going to the Hurricanes for 1 year. What had you so confident that that was what was going to happen?
Well, it's easy for us to comment and speculate about what we see from the outside compared to what Montreal's thinking on the inside. But when you look at it, just cost-effective wise, cap-wise, you just didn't see anything like this being able to work. They're not going to pay the guy twice the value of what his value is at this time. That doesn't say at some point that Kotkaniemi is going to be that type of guy on a cap-driven world we're in. But at this point, it didn't work. It wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to fit. And when you look at it, you knew full well that what Montreal was looking for in terms of a player that was out there that could become a possibility that was available. It was easy to flip the compensation. Yeah, they moved up the third pick to a second pick. It was easy to flip that compensation, get a guy that was probably further ahead in the curve in terms of where he's at with his development in Dvorak. He was locked in term-wise. Term-wise, the money fit. It was a bit of a team-friendly contract with Dvorak at this point. It was a no-brainer for Montreal just to walk away. I think the biggest mistake that you can only blame maybe Montreal on or in the past little while with this was, here's a young player that had trouble playing center, adjusting on a day-to-day basis in the NHL. He should have been playing left wing, and maybe they would not been worrying about this today.
BW Goldstrom's watching on YouTube says, listening to the RP show, trucking between the Gopher Hole Museum to Swan City, Alberta. Love the Sutter insight to the NHL. Well, that's why we got him on. I want to talk about the Kraken in a moment, but you mentioned Christian Dvorak. That's the other news on the weekend. Traded from Arizona to Montreal for 2 draft picks, including a first-rounder in 2022. He's a great player. I've been watching him in Arizona a while. What led to that trade, do you think, and how do you you don't throw around first-rounders easily. What's your read on that trade?
Well, the only thing that kind of surprises me a little bit, and it's, I'm a hockey fan also. I'm employed by a National Hockey League team that treat me very well and I love working for, but I'm also a real fan of the game and pay attention to what's going on out there. And to me, if I was an Arizona Coyotes fan, I'd be a little bit alarmed that, yes, we're stockpiling all these picks, and we got all these picks coming, and yes, the draft's going to be strong in the next couple of years, but what are we going to do in the meantime? When the trade when it went down, I mean, I knew the day before it was happening that the deal was basically in order and was done with Arizona for Christian Dvorak. I immediately went to their depth charts and started going through their system and going like, okay, so yeah, you got 4 or 5 other guys that can play center, but for me personally, outside of Clayton Keller, what have you got coming back down the middle? That's, you've got a bunch of fourth-line centermen, in my opinion, and what are you going to do with your middle 6 forward group to help get you through for the next 2-3 years? That's going to be enormous, and trying to, help implement it. Let's get this building built. Let's keep the fans attracted to our hockey club. I just go through their depth chart now, and I'm going, holy smokes! Look, they're good people in Arizona. They're smart people. I hope they've got some ideas and some plans moving forward to help keep this in place till they can get this building hopefully done and get these draft picks available to become good players. So they've got the work cut out. They know it, but they're a good group of people. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
That part's true for sure. And 2 things with what you say there. In my mind, I'm thinking poor Andre Tourigny, rookie head coach of the Coyotes, first NHL job, and he's saddled with that. And 2, the city of Glendale, when the old Coyotes owners were saying, it's not a hockey town, the city of Glendale saying, why don't you try winning? Let's see how that works instead of blaming the people of Arizona. Anyways, I'm just going to move on if you're okay with that.
Yep.
From James in Borden, Manitoba says, Licorice Legs is not worth $6.1 million. He's talking about Kotkaniemi, of course. And there's a media guy in Montreal that refers to him as Licorice Legs. Rich, I'll tell you when I see you next who it was. I was down in Carlisle on the weekend, the home of Jim McKenzie, Brendan Morrow, and also now Hayden Fleury and Cale Fleury of the Seattle Kraken. There's 5 Sask players on the Seattle Kraken. I'm calling them Team Saskatchewan. Do you think they make the playoffs in year 1 in that Pacific Division?
Well, I certainly like their group. They're starting. The backbone of your team has got to be your goaltending and your defense, especially in an expansion club. I would take that group on the back end. I would take that tandem in goaltending. The only thing concerning with goaltending is probably depth if someone was to get hurt. But you look at your goaltending starting today. You look at your lineup on the back end before we even start to talk about your forwards, Rod, and that defense is as good as a lot of other hockey teams in the National Hockey League. That goaltending is as good as a lot of other teams in the National Hockey League. And you look at that group up front, they've made some kind of very shrewd little signings. When people say, well, it's just Riley Shan. Well, Riley Shan can kill penalties. Riley Shan can win important faceoffs. Riley Shan can play defense. Riley Shan can contribute a little bit offensively. So he's a perfect bottom 6, 4th line guy. These are the kind of character guys. Look, these guys have a lot to prove themselves too, and they want to come in and be part of the excitement and part of the energy and the synergy that's going to happen around that city and that hockey club this year. They're going to want to go and prove to the world themselves too that this is just another example of a piece they put in place that these guys, I think, have got a lot of motivation, and I think they have the pieces in place to be a playoff team, and I see no reason why not. I think it's going to be an exciting time. Anyone's a part of that organization, whether you're a player or an employee, man, I would feel pretty grateful and fortunate to want to be on board and do that, and good for that group.
I think it's the number one story in the NHL this year is the Seattle Kraken. I think every single game of theirs is going to be exciting. And like you say, Grubauer in goal, great place to start. From Chewbacca, watching on YouTube, says, move the Coyotes and give the Jets their history back. From Trent, he's watching in Norway. He says, the Bombers spanked the Riders and sent a message, we're not going away. I wonder if the Coyotes will get their arena in place before the lease expires. I'm not sure that the Kraken will make the playoffs. The West is too tight. Stay well, everyone, says Trent in Norway, where it is 6:30 p.m. My cousin Christine is watching in Medicine Hat, and she says, Richie, sending love from Medicine Hat. Do you know my cousin Medicine Hat? Do you know Christine in Medicine Hat?
I don't know if I do.
Oh, well, she feels like she knows you, Richie. Yes. And by the way, the Regina Pats are in training camp. God's team. Connor Bedard had 3 goals in a 4-3 blue and red game the other day. The actual official inter-squad game is tonight. What can you tell the fans of the team about Zach Stringer, who they got from Lethbridge to help complement the Wonder Boy, the 16-year-old of the Regina Pats, and what you see from this team?
Well, I don't think Zach Stringer is going to compliment Connor Bedard. I don't think anyone's going to compliment Connor Bedard, quite frankly. He is a young man that is determined, is in a class of his own. Look, I watched him at the World 20 and the World 19 under 18 camps in Calgary in August. If I was an NHL general manager, an NHL scout, if I was drafting today, Connor Bedard would be my number 1 pick. I just felt that, I don't know what it was, but I see a lot of good things in Shane Wright. But I think Shane Wright's got to learn to play a lot different game than he's playing right now in terms of pace, in terms of determination. I saw 2 players that played at 2 different age groups. But I saw a kid in Bedard that was just so determined, so dynamic, was doing things at another level that you're going like, hey, how is that possible for a kid this age? there was just more to his game. He's the kind of drawing card that people buy tickets to go watch. He's the kind of guy that, he does something that, how did he do that? Where did he find the time and space to make that happen? He's the guy that has the ability to extend plays and create things out of nothing. And look, Regina, you've got a special player here in the Western Hockey League, not just your city, but other cities around the league. Look, this kid is going to be worth the price of admission. So I say go buy your tickets and watch this kid play, because they're going to have a pretty special group in the Western League for the next 2-3 years.
Hey, my brother Lee called last week. He was all excited. He's got his season tickets. I got mine. He said there's not that many left. So, yeah, everybody is getting on more. But by the way, do you not think, two things, Rich, that Connor should have been in the older group, the under-20s at that camp in Calgary, rather than the under-18s, A? And B, do you think he will play in the under-20 tournament in Red Deer this Christmas?
I felt he should have been in the older group. Look, it's going to be a good group. It's going to be a good team, and quite frankly, I'm sure that there's been some dialogue with Connor to come back to Regina and just prove to us that you deserve to be in the older group. Prove to us that you're going to be in the older group when the time counts. I don't know how you keep this guy off the hockey club, to tell you the truth. I just think he does too many good things, and he doesn't have to play center to play in this group. He can play wing. And there was a lot of good centermen in the older group that are going to have to play wing anyway. So I just don't know how you keep Connor off of it or out of it. I think he'll help determine that in the first 25, 30 games himself. And I won't be surprised if he does, quite frankly. And I'm gonna blow someone's horn here too, Rod. This Fozil kid that is a Columbus pick from Europe is going to be joining the Pats, is going to play from this year. I think this young man is also a real good player, and I'll tell you one thing: he should feel very fortunate, and you'll see a lot of good things in him simply because of playing with guys like Connor Bedard. I think it was a no-brainer for him to come to North America. Strusher and John are going to be happy with this kid, and just another real solid piece that they've added to their group.
Well. Yeah, they are excited. Wait till you see Bedard play defense, which he only does on the power play, but he can do that too. Rich, what are you doing Thursday? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Thursday. 11:30, I got a very important golf match with Mikko Makala.
Okay. He's still around, is he? Okay.
Depends what time on Thursday.
We're doing a show. We're doing a show live from Calgary. I was going to say, if you want to make a little road trip, we're going to be live in Northeast Calgary doing our show on Thursday.
Well, had you told me like about 2 or 3 days ago, I could have canceled this and moved it over.
I swear, we didn't know 2-3 days ago. That's how quick it's come together. But anyways, we'll be doing it more, Rich. Enjoy the golf, because there's not going to be many rounds left. But thanks for the visit today.
No, I leave in 10 days. So and we're starting my... I'm scrambling, and you feel like you haven't done it in 2 years, but you're scrambling to get ready to go. And the last thing I want to do is the day before be running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get things done.
Exactly. All right, Rich, thanks for this.
Okay, talk soon, guys.
You bet. Our NHL insider, Rich Sutter, checking in from Lethbridge, Alberta. And our visit's brought to you by Great Western's Original 16 Ultra. All CFL the rest of the way. Sports update next as well. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network out of Toronto. Live streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone! We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday, first day of the week. Certainly hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. I think the Moose is still recovering because I don't know where he is. Don't know where he is. Did you guys see him? He's doing business probably, eh? So I'm going to handle this segment by myself for a while unless he decides to join us. Hour one of the Rod Pedersen Show on Game Plus Television is brought to you by the World Rugby Sevens. And Explore Edmonton. The World Rugby Sevens is only 22 days away. September 25th and 26th in Edmonton, the World Rugby Sevens Series features teams from across the globe with action-packed Rugby Sevens matchups. Purchase your tickets today at canadasevens.com. I'll say it one more time. Our good friend Cameron Hughes, the professional fan, says this is the greatest sporting event he's ever worked at. Cameron Hughes, the guy that rips all the shirts off, does the crazy dancing in all these venues, NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB, WHL, you name it. He said this is the best. Purchase your tickets today if you're in the Edmonton area or not. Make a holiday of it. canadasevens.com. Hour one brought to you by World Rugby Sevens. So, sports update, because the phones are going crazy today with CFL talk. Frankie Williams returned a punt 67 yards for a touchdown, and Dane Evans threw 2 touchdown strikes to lead the Hamilton Tiger Cats past the Toronto Argonauts 32-19 on Monday. Labor Day Classic at Tim Hortons Field. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Trevor Harris threw 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers to lead the Edmonton Elks to a 32-20 win over the Calgary Stampeders on Monday. Ernest Edwards, Jalen Tolliver, James Wilder Jr. and Mike Jones hauled in touchdown passes from Harris as Edmonton ended its 8-game losing streak in the annual Labor Day Classic. Okay, I erred earlier. I said it was 12 or 14 years. 8 years is long enough. And I was 0 for 2 in picks for BetRegal.net in the CFL on Monday. Bob Wettenhall Sr., the American businessman who took over the Montreal Alouettes in 1997 and transformed the club into one of the CFL's model franchises, has passed away. Early in Wettenhall's tenure, the Alouettes were a CFL powerhouse. From 1999 to 2012, they finished atop the East Division 9 times and advanced to the Grey Cup on 8 occasions, winning 3. No cause of death or age were given. I never met Bob Wettenhall, but I know a ton of guys who worked for him, and they thought that he just walked on water. Florida, multimillionaire, loved his CFL, loved his Alouettes. Just a great man from everybody that I've talked to that knew him well. So condolences to the Wettenhall family. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his 40th homer. Marcus Semien went deep twice, and the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 8-0 in New York for their 5th straight win. Vladdy and his Hall of Fame father joined Cecil and Prince Fielder as the second father-son duo to hit 40 home runs. The Yankees lost for the 7th time in 9 games following their first 13-game win streak since 1961. Again, Blue Jays 3 games out of a wild card spot here in the first week of September. Rookie Jake Myers homered and drove in 4 runs as the Houston Astros sailed to an 11-2 win over the Seattle Mariners. The victory ended a 2-game skid for the AL West leaders and snapped Seattle's 5-game win streak. Seattle and Toronto are both 3 games back of Boston for the second American League wildcard spot. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store. For Ballers Rec Room, home of the 4-hour Rough Riders tailgate party, and I drove by that on Labor Day Sunday and saw a lot of people that were there with less than honorable intentions and having a great time. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. I got to check in on some of the comments in a moment. And as I said, the Prairie Mobile text line is open. So let's get to those. 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. From Ward in Manitoba. Good day, Rod and Moose. Hope you had a great long weekend. How about them Bombers? Hashtag, how about that?
How about that?
They are really rubbing it in Winnipeg, and I'm here for it. It's in my commentary today, by the way, on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98.5 Edmonton. Old radio guy from the Wolf, Jeff Allen, told me once, when you're on top, tell the world. Because when you're on the bottom, people will line up to kick you in the gut. I've been both. He's right. And Winnipeg is bragging lustily about coming in and having their way with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the Labor Day Classic 23-8. By the way, go to rodpeterson.com right now if you want to read that commentary. There's some spicy things in there about this game that went down Sunday. Adam Ridioff in Hamilton's watching from the 289. Hey, Rod, potential poll question or discussion topic for you. Is the current level of talent in the CFL the best it's ever been? And he says Ticats fans are feeling pretty good at 2-2. You want to hit the spicy on that?
Spicy.
I would say at the current moment, no, it's not. Top end talent level, as good as ever. 1 through 44 on your roster, not the best it's ever been. The football people will understand what I'm saying. And with his poll question suggestion there, it's similar to our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. What's the biggest storyline coming out of CFL Labor Day weekend? Ticats are back, as Adam said. Riders in trouble. Elks are for real, or VA is back. And 41% on Twitter saying it's Riders in trouble. And on Facebook, 39% leading Riders in trouble. But are they? Really? They can go to Winnipeg on Saturday for the Banjo Bowl. 4 p.m. Eastern kickoff, by the way. Note the early start time. And totally redeem themselves. There's a respondent to that poll, by the way, from My Dog Holly. That's his Twitter handle, My Dog Holly. He says the whole league is in trouble. And he says it in all caps. When I was on the radio this morning in Lloydminster, Canada's only border city, they were asking me about that. And I said the CFL would prefer to keep everything positive, and I'm going to prefer to keep everything positive. The games, for the most part, this weekend came off. Well, they were good games. They came off without a hitch. Are they financially in trouble? This league's always financially in trouble. Somebody else can talk about that. See, viewer Kelly Bale watching on YouTube says it is not the best ever due to all the recent retirements. And he is right. If you want to talk about the Canadian talent from Brad Sinopoli in Ottawa, Mateos, the center for the Red Blacks, Brennan Labatt here, perennial lineman of the year, not playing because of COVID control. The best players across the board are not playing. So right now, no, this is not the greatest the talent's ever been. And I'll tell you what, certainly not the best the officiating's ever been either. Maybe we'll talk about that and more when we come back for Viewer Takeover. By the way, coming up in hour 2, Shawn Simpson from TSN Ottawa. It is a Tuesday. It's a brand new week. You're watching Canada's daytime sports talk show on Game Plus TV out of Toronto. Also, YouTube and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. It's time to get back to busy, and Capital GMC is here to help. Check out our selection of new and certified pre-owned, online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with one of our product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. And our factory-trained technicians are standing by for service or inspection on any make or model. It's time to get back to busy with Capital GMC in Regina.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Guess what we found? Voila! La Mousse.
Yo.
How are ya?
Swell.
Getting ready to go. I dropped the bomb earlier when you weren't here that we're going to be live in Calgary beginning tomorrow.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for the rest of the week.
That's good.
And I'll get to your comments in a moment. Hang on, everybody. But I guess we can say where we're doing the show from.
Yep.
The Best Western Premier Inn on Freeport Boulevard. And some kids from my alma mater are writing in, Mount Royal University, saying, Rod, you should come to Mount Royal University. Do the show there. We got the Best Western Premier Inn, the premier hotel in Calgary is where we're going to be doing the show from. I'd love to go to MRU. Maybe I'll swing by. They tell me that my name's on the wall there.
Really?
Yes.
Photo?
No, what I wrote on the bathroom when I no. They say that my name is on the Wall of Fame there. I have not stopped by to see it.
We got to check that out. Mount Royal.
You want to go by MRU?
Well, we're going to visit the UFC. We'll visit Mount Royal.
For you people in Calgary, I worked at a bar in Calgary when I went to college called the Rockin' Horse Saloon. We nicknamed it the Divorce Horse. You know why.
Yes.
And I learned more working Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at the Rockin' Horse Saloon than I learned in school.
Really?
Oh, yeah. As my dad used to always say, learning ain't all in the books.
I believe it. I believe it.
Well, you've worked in bars, too.
Well, of course. I'm sure you learned, yeah.
We all have.
I don't know if you can share some of the lessons you learned. But.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, by the way, we're brought to you by Explore Edmonton here in Hour 1. Thanks for the reminder, Clark.
How about that?
The World Rugby Sevens is right around the corner. September 25th and 26th in Edmonton. The World Rugby Sevens Series features teams from across the globe with action-packed Rugby Sevens matchups. I'm told the greatest sporting event that you will ever partake. Purchase your tickets today at CanadaSevens.com. It would be, Darren, sidestepping landmines to think about what I can say and what I can't say, but what I learned at the Divorce Horse on McLeod Trail South, Calgary. Woo. See, the General's writing in from Calgary. The General, he says, nice, Rod. Yeah. It was. From the viewers, I mentioned the officiating in the CFL was not its shining moment. Labor Day Classic weekend. Shawn Home, watching on Facebook, says the referees were terrible in the games I watched, and the CFL Command Center was bad too. Casey Jones says, let's not forget the Canadian tag team of Nick Dembski and Andrew Harris. They were dominant. Dylan Spicer, watching in Nova Scotia, says the officiating in Saskatchewan was a gong show, especially after that roughing call. He's talking roughing the kicker, where the Riders got penalized for it. They never even touched the kicker. Did you watch? They replayed it 37 times.
Oh, yeah. I saw.
I was watching on ESPN News. But at least they got it right.
Yeah.
We will continue this coming up in Hour 2. And also Shawn Simpson joining us from TSN Ottawa. It's going to be big fun. Stick around after this break here on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. It's time to get back to busy, and Capital GMC is here to help. Check out our selection of new and certified pre-owned, online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now, or work with one of our product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. And our factory-trained technicians are standing by for service or inspection on any make or model. It's time to get back to busy with Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at
Now, we are airing in Boston, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C.
How about that?
Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Arizona, Colorado, Oklahoma, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Vermont, Maine. I've been everywhere, man.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the second hour of the RP Show. We're coming to you on the Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. YouTube and Facebook as well. It's Hour 2, brought to you by Core Grain. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. This is where we kind of just, do you remember?
Yeah.
We're not landing the plane, but it's like we're just...
The seatbelt sign is off, and you're now free to move around the cabin.
The pilot has unbuckled himself, and he's gone for a leak.
Yes.
It's on autopilot right now.
That's right.
For a while. So whatever you want to talk about on the RP Show, it's all on the table here in this second half kickoff. Last hour, Rich Sutter talking about everything to do with the NHL. Coming up later on this hour, Shawn Simpson from TSN Ottawa, 1200 AM radio. But I see... we love daytime talk because there's things going on, right? We've opened a brand new week. It's Tuesday. It's episode number 565, and things are going on. Like, for instance, the Ottawa Red Blacks are at practice today, and our good friend A.J. Jakubic, he's the guy that was with me 2 weeks ago in downtown Regina when a moose ran into my car. He's the guy. And you saw it because it was on video. I had it documented on my phone.
That's right.
He's reporting that Dominic Davis is taking first team reps for the Ottawa Red Blacks in day one of their practice week today. So we really went fast through the quick six show topics last hour. And would you mind, Director Jordan, hitting the horn again? I'm just going to rattle quick six because I was thinking about a lot of these this morning when I was pounding away on the old treadmill at Evolution Fitness. Number one, CFL Labor Day recap. We didn't really sink into all those, so we will.
Yeah.
Point two, the USA Today annual preseason power rankings are out in the National Football League, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are ranked number one. No surprise there. Number three, college football week one takeaways. Number four, the Jesperi Kotkaniemi story. I'm so tired of it. It came to a conclusion Saturday with Montreal not matching the Carolinas offer sheet, and he's gone to the Canes. Old Licorice Legs is a member of the Carolina Hurricanes. Point five, the Blue Jays just won't go away. They continue to be exciting, and now as we open a new week, they're 3 games out of a wild card spot, the second berth in the American League. And point six, tennis. I'll give you the tennis, Moose.
Whoa, it didn't come up last hour.
How about that?
That's right. I will give you the fact that it's worth paying attention to. I'm not going to watch it because there's so many other entertainment options. I'd rather see Marcus Spears on ESPN break down the Cowboys and Buccaneers on Thursday night than watch a live event at the U.S. Open. But that's not to say I don't respect it.
Well, that's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, it's been going really good. I watched the match with Bianca Andreescu last night.
It was a late one.
It was incredible tennis. Like, those two girls put on a hell of a show. Went into the third set. It went into, 2:15 Eastern. They're playing in New York at the U.S. Open, and unfortunately, Bianca lost. She was dealing with a little bit of an injury. So that sucks. But Leila Annie Fernandez, the really young Canadian teen, she plays tonight. She's in the quarters, so that's going to be good. Or sorry, she doesn't play. Or I think she plays tonight. Felix Auger-Aliassime plays tonight as well. He's moved in. So we got 2 Canadians left, and they're both in the quarterfinals. One on the female side and one on the men's side. So,
well, that's why professionally, you're the yin, I'm the yang. You cover off the stuff that I'm not interested in, and whatever that you're not interested in, I am. But it seems like you're mostly interested in what I am.
Yeah, we got it covered off.
But you can talk about the tennis. I don't necessarily like. I went to sleep early last night. I got up, had all these notifications about this 3-set game.
Oh yeah.
That Andreescu was in, and which she lost, right?
Well, she was, and in the second set, she was 2 points away from winning it and just couldn't close her out. And then
enough tennis talk. Enough tennis talk. I'm just sick. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's move on.
Well, we're going to get you to Montreal next summer.
Okay.
So we'll start there.
Regarding the Ottawa News, farmer in Saskatchewan watching on YouTube says the Red Blacks are hitting the nuclear button already. Yeah. Eject on their starting quarterback, Matt Nichols. And I not really here for the debate anymore on certain things. For instance, people saying Matt Nichols. Well, I watched the game Friday at White Bear. Loved it. Bear Claw Casino and Resort. And Matt Dunnigan says, Matt Nichols doesn't look right. And you've heard he doesn't, but you've heard these stories that the quarterback for Ottawa is playing hurt. And I'm like, then why is he playing then? And then I heard this coming out of the weekend. Paul LaPolice, Ottawa's coach, not a head coach. Good coordinator, not a head coach. How can we say that? That the team's bereft of talent. I'll never forget standing in the BC Lions practice facility in a news conference with Steve Barato. Remember the legendary coach of the Lions, Steve Barato?
Yeah.
And he just said, the loneliest place in the world is when you're the head coach of a bad football team. Think about that.
I believe it. Awful tough. You know, when you don't have the talent. And Paul LaPolice is a guy who's had success, but he's used to having some pieces to work with. And there's still some pieces in Ottawa, like, don't get me wrong, but it's not what he had in Winnipeg. And it's not even what Ottawa had just a few short seasons ago. Mm-hmm. So they need to be patient. They need to be patient with Paul. They need to be patient with that organization, because we know the general manager has shown an ability to find talent. This was a contract issue when they let 3 of their big horses go, not willing to pay the money. So now you got to start at the bottom, find some talent. It's going to take a couple of seasons. But Dominic Davis showed an ability to move the football a little bit in that second half. So they're going to roll with him.
Ticats fans are awake. Mel McGuigan writes in, says DB Jamel Roll played lights out for the Cats yesterday, and Dane Evans solidified his place as the starter. Great win. nobody thought Hamilton was going to be the 0-2 Hamilton Tiger Cats. They are who we thought they were. They're winning with the big plays. They made a change at quarterback, and away they go. By the way, Week 6 in the Canadian Football League begins Friday. Hamilton at Toronto. That's a Saturday triple-header. Now, if I was in charge of marketing the Canadian Football League, I would call this Football Day in Canada. Triple-header. Yeah. Sask at Winnipeg, Calgary at Edmonton, Ottawa at BC. So we'll be watching as many of those as we can. By the way, the Prairie Mobile text line is open at 306-840-8777. We'll get to as many of your comments as we can. Introducing SaskTel Plus pricing. Updating your cell phone has never been easier. Pick up the device you have been wanting without any upfront costs. Take advantage of the Buy Now, Pay Later program today. I might actually do that because I got a really good iPhone, as you know. But I see the people that have the 3 lenses on the back, and I'm like, what do you got going on over there? Because they say those pictures are just mind-blowing. There's nothing like it.
Wow. Time to
But you're not an Apple guy.
No, I'm not. But I got the 3 lenses in the back of this thing.
Yours takes nice pictures.
See?
Yours takes nice pictures.
But also remember, that's the one thing about Android. They're not all the same. So this isn't, you can't compare this to the text line you got.
Yeah. No. Well, I can't believe how many people are watching tennis. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Tacona Powley, watching in Winnipeg, says, Rod, pretty sure if you actually watched the tennis, you'd think different. Start with the women.
We're going to start by taking him there first, baby steps.
Hey, that's what got me onto lacrosse.
See?
That's what got me onto the NBA. Way, way, way back, the Minnesota Timberwolves played the Atlanta Hawks at a preseason game at Sask Place. And I'm like, this is way better live. Way better live.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of years ago, and I never forget. I still watch it, and I enjoy it. I think once you watch it live, but my thing is you can't get into everything. Like I'm trying to stay on top of what's going on in the NHL, what's going on in the NFL. Then our viewers are saying, you guys following college football? Because if you are, we're in. I'm like, oh, there's a whole new thing that we need to stay on top of.
Don't worry. I'll take care of the tennis. You don't got to get into tennis.
Okay, thanks.
I'll take that one.
Wow. You need to stick around and watch the entire show every day for 2 hours because Jeff in the Zone's watching on YouTube, and he says, what's up, Rod and Darren? Can the Blue Jays still make the playoffs? And how far would they go? We've talked about this today, as a matter of fact. 8-0 they won at the Yankees yesterday. They're 3 games out of the second wildcard berth. And we must be getting close to the magic number date when we start talking about magic numbers. Because I haven't heard the magic number phrase come out yet.
No.
And as soon as we do, that's usually when you can start turning the lights off.
But we're about 15 or 20 games away from that, aren't we?
Are we that far out?
I think so. Clark's our resident baseball statistician.
He's all adorned in Blue Jays gear.
So
today,
Clark's going to have to see the games remaining. But I remember just looking, it was 30 not that long ago. Around 30 games left.
Okay.
So there's
I
still
can hear them talking back there.
There's still some time.
They're talking about something else. From J. Rod, watching on Facebook, he says, I watched the game on TV, and man, I can't believe the Riders' O-line. That one is Dan was starting Fajardo. Spell check your comments, J. Rod. You lost me. It's 11:11, by the way. Make a wish. Be aware of your thoughts. Let me go to the Prairie Mobile text line, by the way. From Leonard. Well, and you know, when I go on these interviews across the country, they really bring up great show topics.
Okay.
That I like to carry over here.
Yeah.
So Leonard writes in from the 536. He says, the bye week can either be a blessing or a curse. It's a blessing if you have guys. Who's calling me now? It's a blessing if you have guys that are wounded, then you have time to get them healthy. Or if you weren't playing good, you can reset a losing streak into a winning streak after the bye week. He goes on to write a novel here. Thank you, Leonard, for chiming in. But on the radio this morning in Lloyd, they said, did the bye week hurt the Rough Riders? I'm like, come on. They got beaten by the better team on that day, 23-8 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I think what has everybody so upset, and I had a friend say to me this, that stadium was full of people on Sunday that expected Saskatchewan to win. Was it you that said that? They just left mad.
Oh, yeah. They were just mad.
It was supposed to be their day.
It was supposed to, well, it always is their day.
Right.
Labor Day is the greatest day in Saskatchewan. We've been a part of this community for a long time, right? You wake up, you go for breakfast, everybody's wearing green, it's a wonderful day, and it always ends with a Rider win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when things don't go according to plan, people are a little upset. Ruins your day a little bit.
How about this guy? Metal Shingle Guy writes in. He says, good teams win when they're supposed to. Great teams win when they're not. Hashtag for the W.
Wow.
You're coming over to Bomberville? This guy's historically a Rough Rider fan. So I said it last hour, I'll say it again. I am loving the bravado of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers because it's been 30 years in the making. And it's a bunch of really good guys over there that are treating us unbelievable. Why wouldn't we support that football team? We're not denigrating the green guys at all. Cody Fajardo, he's my guy. Craig Dickinson, he's my guy. But Winnipeg was the better team soundly on Saturday. What do you think the line will be for the Banjo Bowl? I said 5 or 6 points Winnipeg will be.
I think you're pretty close. I think it'll be 5.5. I really do. What do you say, 3 points just for being at home?
No.
Although we've been told that that's not right.
Johnny Avello from DraftKings says that's not a thing.
Says it's not a thing. But in a building like that, it plays a factor, right? And they always win that game. A lot of history will go into it. I think 5.5, maybe 6.5.
Jeff Cabillas watching in Winnipeg says, I was actually more stoked about the Georgia Dogs win over Clemson than the Bombers win. It's the post-Trevor Lawrence era for the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
Grin and bear it. From Jordan Smirvold says, do you think we could be graced with another season of Brett Ritchie on the Flames' first line? Yeah. Who else is going to play there? I'm looking forward to going to Calgary. Actually, before we break and bring in Simmer, TSN Simmer, Shawn Simpson from Ottawa, we are going to Calgary for live shows beginning tomorrow. And we're going to delve into the Rolodex of Calgary sports people. We're going to get into the Flames sitch and see what's going on there. But can you tell everybody, they're saying, why are you going to Calgary? Do you want to tell them?
Yeah.
You're the business guy.
Got to do business. We got to do business. So that's one of the things we're continuing to do is we got to meet with clients, meet with sponsors of this show. And Calgary is one of those communities that we want to connect with. Our sales managers there. And so we're going to do some relationship building and networking, and we'll be able to take the show there.
Jimmy, 2 tables.
That's right. And I can tell you that line is not anywhere close to 5.5.
What is it?
Winnipeg's on betregal.net, Winnipeg by 2.5.
Whoa. Well,
2.5.
Do you think injuries and things like that will affect that line as the week goes along? I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not.
Is it bad that I want to just tell everybody to go to Bet Regal and take the Bombers because you're getting a great line?
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Like, you're only getting 2.5. They only got to win by a field goal to cover it? I'd be racing there and putting all my money on the Bombers. Not that's maybe Saskatchewan, maybe they think the revenge game. Maybe they think it's going to flip.
Doesn't usually happen.
No.
I saw that the road team in this back-to-back hasn't won both times in 32 years. That's not to say that it can't, but the odds certainly aren't for it.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to get a couple more texts for CFL Talk in before we switch gears and bring in Shawn Simpson after the break. Brady in Saskatoon says, hey, Rod, tough day at work for the Riders. Offensive line didn't show up to play, giving Cody Fajardo no support and time in the pocket. He says, I love the pickup of Dvorak for the Habs and the decision to let Kokaniemi walk. KK wasn't worth $6.1 million. No doubt about that. Metal Shingle Guy, when I asked if he's converting to a Bomber fan, he says, still a Rider fan, but better is better. Wayne in Victoria, hi, Rod. I just wanted to say that the Riders are not in trouble by losing one game to the Bombers. They have good coaching and will respond before the season is over. I have full confidence in them, but the next game will show their character, as it'll be a tough one. From Wayne in Victoria, BC. Stick around, everybody. TSN Simmer after the break. Hour 2 is brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. You're watching on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
It's time to get back to busy, and Capital Ford Lincoln is here to help. Check out our selection of new and used online or in-store. Don't see what you like? We have inventory arriving daily. Reserve yours now or work with our team of product specialists to customize and order the perfect new vehicle for you. Wait! Hold the phone. We still have brand new F-150s in stock and ready to go. Okay, back to the regular commercial. Plus, we're always paying top dollar for used vehicles, even if you don't buy from us. It's time to get back to busy with Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show. The Rod Peterson.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rob.
Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new week on the RP Show. By the way, I want to send a shout-out to Simon & Schuster. How about this? They know what they're doing over there at Simon & Schuster. Brand new book coming out on October the 26th. Mark Messier's memoir, No One Wins Alone, by the original Moose. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Probably going to read it on the roadie to Calgary here over the next couple of days. Simon & Schuster, thanks for sending us this. We're not allowed to sell this book nor quote it. I'm just supposed to read it and tell you about it. And you'll be picking it up for Christmas. Let's bring in Shawn Simpson now. TSN 1200 Ottawa. And I said Simmer to producer Clark. I said, Simmer's had a lot to say over the last little while for the National Hockey League. Let's get him on with his hot takes. Yeah. How's the summer been, man?
You know what, outstanding. And Rod, got to be honest with you, I'm not a CFL guy. As soon as I hear you talk about the game, I actually get excited. And this should be like Fox News. I want you peddling your own book. Forget about the Moose. I want to hear about Rod Pedersen.
buddy, I started working on it. I'm like, I don't know if people are ready for this or not. So it's a ways away. Look, Simmer, I said you got all the hot. I love following you on Twitter, by the way. Everybody, give him a follow at TSN Simmer. Can I just start with the broadest question of that Atlantic Division?
Absolutely.
Do the Ottawa Senators make the playoffs in 2021-22?
I'll say no as of right now. And again, we'll see when we get to the season. But my power ranking would probably end up being Tampa Bay, Florida, Toronto. And then all of a sudden you'd have Montreal, Boston. And I think you got Ottawa right after there. Then Detroit and Buffalo pulling up the rear. The nice part is it's forward progress. It's not a bad thing. But the one thing you can't really measure from end of the year to next year, young team, the future once Brady Tkachuk is signed is certainly bright. But I'd say it's a little premature for that, Rod. And to be quite honest with you, all fortunes for this hockey club pretty much rest on Matt Murray. So until I see that he's good to go, I can't be calling them a playoff team.
Isn't that something, by the way, that it begins and ends in goal? But, you know, one thing, we did our show from Montreal Stanley Cup Finals from the home games. And the sense that I got there regarding Jesperi Kotkaniemi was the heat on him because he went ahead of Brady Tkachuk in the draft. Right, and what Brady's with what Brady's doing with you guys in Ottawa. Can you just talk about that for a second and just the offer sheet deal and just that Kotkaniemi seemed to be becoming the whipping boy there in Montreal because of Brady Tkachuk?
Well, you know what, and right from the very beginning, this is all Mark Bergevin's fault. I mean, you look back to it and you understand they forced the pick. All of a sudden, Kotkaniemi's name came up, and all of a sudden he's a little bit higher rated. They reach on a third pick. Watching that every day in comparison to Brady Tkachuk, it's terrible. Because Brady Tkachuk, who doesn't want him on their team? At the same thing, Kotkaniemi's a nice young hockey player. They forced him in early. He was a boy playing against men. It's been a roller coaster. They lost the third pick overall. 21-year-old for Dvorak, who's a decent player. I don't think there's a ton of upside right there, but this from start to finish was an absolute disaster by Mark Bergevin and the Montreal Canadiens. And as far as a comparison, imagine the kid getting out the door. Forget about those. Go to Carolina. Focus on being a good hockey player. And it would just make me sick to my stomach. Brady Tkachuk is a throwback. He is the last true power forward, and he's going to dominate the National Hockey League for years to come. And the Montreal Canadiens may have needed center iceman, but for how long did they complain about not having size on their wings? So boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, it's been a big, big mistake for the Montreal Canadiens and one they're never going to recover from.
Wow. And by the way, Rich Sutter was on with us last hour talking about the trade from Dvorak from Arizona to Montreal. And he's like, what are they doing in Arizona? And here's the reason I ask you. You're an Ottawa guy, former NHL goalie, front office guy. I feel for Andre Tourigny. The 67's coach and Team Canada coaches. What's he got to coach down there in Arizona?
Have you been to Arizona and making $2 million instead of riding the bus in Ottawa for junior hockey?
Okay, so it's about lifestyle. It's about lifestyle then, okay.
No, but Rod, he also knew what he was signing up for. You know, they're going to gut the thing. You have a program there. Billy Armstrong's done a masterful job. I also don't know Dvorak well enough. I saw his junior numbers. He played with Marner and Tkachuk. He's been okay. All my reports tell me he's a third-line center. I'll watch him when he gets to Montreal and decide. But Andre knew what he was signing up for. And like I said, it wasn't easy here. At least they have a plan. And they have the support, and it's not going to be fun. But like I said, it's not like he's surprised for what they're doing there. So, like I say, Andre was a good man. I didn't know enough about him when he was with the Senators. So respectful of the program that he built here with the Ottawa 67s. In long term, he'll be fine. And hey, first couple of years, it's going to be darn ugly. But what are they doing? Well, they're bottoming out. They don't have any money. They're going to have a plan. Ask Calgary Flames fans or a lot of teams out there in the National Hockey League if they wouldn't prefer a team that had a plan instead of a team that's in a mushy middle like Calgary, Montreal, and plenty of others. Hey, like I said, it's painful, but we saw here in Ottawa, if you do it properly, it'll work. And it has Ottawa hockey fans pretty excited once they sign Tkachuk.
Shawn Simpson with us from TSN 1200 Ottawa. I'm just scrolling through your timeline here, and it's highly entertaining, as I said. Some of the top storylines going into the year, we had a vote, is what will you be watching the most? And our viewers said the Seattle Kraken. And it's a fun topic. Do you think they make the playoffs here in their first year?
Well, they're in the worst division in hockey, so I think it's kind of touch and go. If they do, it's an absolute failure because Ron Francis has not put together a very good hockey club. And if they are going to be picking in the middle of the pack for what he also did as a franchise, that's a big mistake. I don't know why you want to do that in a market like Seattle. I think they're going to do terrific. This is San Jose 2.0. It's going to be entertaining. People don't care what's happened at the games for the first few years. So they should be competitive. But like I said, that's not going to help the team any. I'm excited to see them. I can't say I'm overly excited, but it'll be very cool to go to games there. That is one of the most gorgeous cities on the planet, as you know.
Yeah, what took you to Seattle? I was going through there with the Regina Pats, and I just loved games in Seattle, loved staying in Seattle. We would hub out of there. You know the term. Were you there for hockey purposes or just vacationing?
No, a little bit of both, but you know, it was beautiful going to Seattle. You would land there, you drive over to Tacoma, and as long as your car didn't get stolen in Tacoma, you'd go back to Seattle, you'd be good to go. This goes all the way back to when I was in Washington. We drafted Brendan Witt. So that was a big part of the cycle, the circle. Went through all those teams then. That would have been when Bruce Hamilton was sitting there and dreaming about moving his team from Tacoma up to Kelowna. Now he's bathing in the cash. That goes back a long ways, but spent a lot of time going through there. A lot more at the airport than necessarily downtown, but it was pretty cool back then, as you know, going to the Midwest and going down to Portland and heading over to Tri-Cities and over to Spokane. Some terrific hockey players come out of those programs.
Oh, boy, Shawn, you don't look that old. I guess we're about the same age. I called games in the Tacoma Dome where the sheet of ice was a rumor, like a facility built for football. It was fun. Yeah. But you could see why they wanted to get the Rockets out of there and move to Kelowna.
Well, the Tacoma Bridge disaster is one of the better natural causes or things of human. I'm 53, so I started out scouting a little bit young, started with the legendary Jack Button. Oh, yeah. We went out on that trip. That was one of my first scouting trips. And I think if we drafted Brendan 93, along with Jason Allison, the Quebec draft, signed him at the Edmonton draft, legendary pick. And so it goes back. Time moves quickly.
No kid. Craig Button's dad and Witter's the pride of Humboldt Sask. Now, another story. I got a couple here for our Florida hockey fans that are watching. Number one, do you see a Tampa Bay Lightning three-peat, or have they lost too much here in this offseason?
I think that'll be a little bit tough, but at the same time, Montreal, I think it was a one-hit wonder they've lost. The Boston Bruins, as they start to age, David Krejci's a huge loss. Within the division itself, I actually still have them as the best hockey team. When you lose all three of those role players, another short summer, but you still have the core. They've done some really good drafting. I know you're good, close with Al Murray. What a great job they've done in every level of hockey operations. I also do wonder deep down as you start to lose some depth, guys win a couple of times, how hungry the overall group is and how much energy you have. So certainly still have them in the top five, but I'm not counting on a three-peat. But hey, there's a lot of average teams in the National Hockey League right now.
Yes, are there ever? I paused the Florida hockey talk for a second because there are some viewer questions that have come in. Matt Herbert from the Prince Albert Raiders Facebook group says, will Parker Kelly see any time with the Senators this year? The Raider alum. What do you think?
Well, shout out to them. And I think the last time I was in Prince Albert, we had drafted Jeff Nelson. And the Nelson boys had come through there. There's another name for the past.
Are you dating your
Steve Kelly and Brad Church were on the team as well.
Yeah.
So
Churchy, the pride of Dauphin, Manitoba, and Steve Kelly from Edmonton. Continue. Sorry to interrupt. Parker Kelly. Do you see him in the Sens lineup this year?
You know what? It sure sounds like it. And he's an agitating guy. And I think if you kind of look at a fourth line, if in a perfect world from a Sens fans, they would probably have Ridley Gregg with Parker Kelly and Austin Watson. I think Gregg, of course, will end up going back to junior. But Parker Kelly is an agitator. They want to build a bit of energy fourth line. I know they're very high in him. And he's just one of those kids that certainly would fit into the mold of a G.J. Smith. So absolutely, I think he sees some games.
Boy, I could sit and talk with you forever about this. And here's another one, NHL.com.
No rush. I'd love to say any as long as you want, Rod.
Are you set up in one of your kids' rooms, by the way? It looks very dreamy and, yeah?
You know what? And again, I have to be quite honest with you. My girlfriend, and this is, cards on the table here. She works for CIBC, and during the COVID, of course, she's working from home. The home office has been set up in the bedroom. So I was scrambling to try to do a bit of a fake background. But I also thought with kind of back to school that this is kind of like a Disney theme, and that'd be kind of cool as well. And just purchased these new satin sheets. They're not my own line yet, so I can't give necessarily a shout out to them. But That's the family bedroom right there.
I like it. It looks very dreamy. It looks very home. I'm very comfortable watching it. So
I'm sure on those Western road trips, it's exactly the kind of place you stayed in the Dub back in the day.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no kidding. Just talking about that the other day. 21-day road trips. The Panthers at NHL.com, they had 5 questions facing the Florida Panthers, and I'm like, not a lot of questions there. This is still a good team coming back. You were a goaltender. I was a goaltender. Here's mine for you. Sergei Bobrovsky, Spencer Knight coming back. Not a bad tandem there. Who do you think is the starting goalie in Game 1 for the Florida Panthers?
Well, I think you want to give it to Bobrovsky, but you never know. I mean, Spencer Knight, another one of those situations. People are like, why are you drafting a goalie when you already got one? Same thing in Montreal with Price. Same thing when Bishop was in Tampa. He came after Vasilevsky. I think it'll be great competition. The sleeper part and the part I can't understand, I'll watch him more this year with Seattle. Why were the Edmonton Oilers not in a guy like Drieger? I watched him here. I watched his progression. His numbers are so similar to Craig Anderson when he evolved, finally got to Colorado, over to Ottawa. So from a goaltending standpoint, hopefully it's just pushing Bobrovsky to be better. And for Spencer Knight, also realistic, just coming out of college. But boy, oh boy, he looks like the real deal. So I think more than anything, they just got to figure out what they have. Because Billy Zito, I'll tell you what, has gone there and done a real nice job, moved around some things, and nothing but impressed. And I'll tell you what, not on an Olympic side, but if you want to talk about one of the NHL's most underrated players, is an Ottawa kid who didn't make the OHL, went out west, is Mackenzie Weegar. What a year he had after Aaron Ekblad went down last year. And I don't think Barkov's or Huberdeau's a secret anymore. So, no, real good hockey team there, and should be some stiff competition for the Bob.
Well, that's the thing is Spencer Knight, if I read that right, was 4-0. In his starts with the Florida Panthers. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
it's also
tremendous.
The goalie factor out of Boston College is incredible. The amount of goaltenders over the years, that have come out of there. It's been a real good, and they almost all look the same, all about 6'3", and just look like big walls in the net.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Dustin Wolf, Everett Silvertips, and Flames prospect. But when he wasn't playing at the World Juniors because of what Spencer Knight was doing, I'm like, how can I argue with this? He's winning every game.
Yeah.
And they shut out Canada in the gold medal game. So anyways, what are you watching here in the preseason for the Ottawa Senators, Simmer, as they get ready to hit the ice here soon?
Well, I think more than anything, just getting Brady Tkachuk signed. I mean, it's such a big part of the hockey club, the fabric, kind of judging the importance of it and the confidence in it. But you put that together, and all of a sudden you got him and Norris playing together. You got Batherson on that side, Connor Brown down the stretch last year with Stützle, maybe Pinto, fill out the bottom group. Let's see when you come to training camp how they slot in Brandstrom. Is he back with Zub? So much anticipation here is about North Dakota and Jake Sanderson coming out next year. And then really quite simply is Matt Murray. But when you look at the foundation, you look at the group, you look at the outstanding drafting and development under the Mann brothers, it's a very exciting future. They've got a lot of good young players. I guess the biggest focus, though, Rod, is on the back end, seeing if they can piece that together. And where's Matt Murray going to be at? If Matt Murray can't do it, isn't consistent, isn't healthy, I don't mind Forsberg. And Gustafsson has a bright future, but they're not going to go very far this year. And Matt Murray's back to being the goaltender he was in Pittsburgh way back when.
But who was – sorry, I just can't stop with it. Who was that young goalie that came up that won his first game? Like he was the next – yeah, Joey Decord. Where does he fit into the mix for the Sens?
Well, Joey's in Seattle now, right? He was taken to the expansion
draft. Him?
So it'll basically stock up. Yeah, now it's Gustafsson and Sogard. Sogard came in and was 6-0. I'm sure you watched him a little bit in the Western League. Nothing but impressed with him. They also have Mandolisi, so that's how they stack up. And Decord was good. Certainly a toss-up as to who has a better upside, but Seattle ended up getting a pretty good goaltender there. So really, Gustafsson now signing a two-way for this year, a one-way the following year. Assumption is Forsberg will be gone, and he'll be the backup for Murray a year from now. All
right. Well, lots to watch at Senators camp. I know you'll be on top of it. Simmer, always enjoy the visit. Enjoy what's left of summer.
Yeah, always appreciate listening to you and really enjoy your enthusiasm, man. You really sell the CFL well, if that sounds in the sincerest way. It's very nice.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Have a great day. Shawn Simpson joining us from TSN 1200 Ottawa. And by the way, I met him at the Grey Cup 2017 in Ottawa and just clicked right away. Real good guy right there. Former NHL goalie, front office guy. Now doing the TSN thing in the nation's capital. We'll be back. Sports update. We'll start the viewer takeover early. Whatever you want to talk about is on the table. You're watching the RP show on the Game Plus television network, carried all across Ontario on Rogers and Cogeco cable. live on YouTube and Facebook as well, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
HSBC Canada Sevens is coming to Edmonton for a legendary weekend on and off the field. Commonwealth Stadium, September 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at canadasevens.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. A couple segments left here for viewer takeover. I don't know if Clark can go back and find the comment from Casey Jones. He was watching in Winnipeg, and he was like, you said all CFL the rest of the way, Rod. Why are you talking hockey in CFL season? He's got a listening comprehension problem, Darren.
Okay.
It was 1 hour ago. I said all CFL the rest of the way in hour one. So Casey in Winnipeg, I'll do the talking, you do the watching. Don't ask us. There it is. Have to call bull on this. Well, if you don't like the hockey talk, turn it off. Don't have a gun to your head. Beat it. How you been doing, Moose?
Fantastic.
How's the coffee?
Are you okay? Good.
Oh, Casey's
Brazil 7 Falls.
He's annoying me.
I remember this one from week 1. Yes, you were about to ask what the coffee flavor was.
Yeah, what was it?
Brazil 7 Falls. I remember back, I made a sheet when we first started the show, and they came over and showed us how to make coffee and everything else, and I made check marks around which ones you liked, so I knew you liked this one.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's actually half and half with Tim Hortons right now. It's a dog's breakfast of coffee.
What?
It's a Heinz 57 hybrid.
Okay. It's not how I would roll, but...
Yeah, just because you're a coffee snob.
No.
Yes, you are.
No. We're going to get in a fight about this?
I think you are a coffee snob. It's okay.
Oh,
There's football snobs. There's hockey snobs. There's snobs. There's coffee snobs. It's not an insult, I don't think.
Okay. But I'll drink any coffee.
I see what you're
When have I ever turned down, right?
But you wouldn't mix coffees?
I do. I'm just trying to give caliber that, you know what I mean? If you're going to drink caliber,
yeah,
you shouldn't mix it with anything.
Right.
That's all.
David Asplin in Winnipeg says, how's Fajardo doing this morning? I'd imagine he had a rough sleep last night. And the game was Sunday. And I'll tell you what, when he got hit, I was like, that's my guy. He was just right out next play.
Mm-hmm.
Or next series, I guess, because they punted right after that. But, Cody, we might have to talk about this running the ball thing. You know, you watched the game.
Yeah.
What did you think? I think it's time.
He's so good at it, and he can do it. But, man, you need him to stay healthy if the Riders are going to. And in a game like that, where he's taking a beating anyways, right? You need to make sure that you stay healthy. And sometimes you got to throw the ball away. But a gamer like that never wants to throw. I remember Willie was chasing him out to his left. This was kind of early on in the game, and he was chasing him out to the left on first down. And Cody tucked it and sprinted and dove for a 1-yard gain on first down. Like, you could throw that away and save yourself, but he doesn't want to. He wants every yard, every play, try and get whatever he can. That's the competitor that Cody Fajardo is. But sometimes you got to be okay getting rid of it and just, hey, taking the down and saving, a hit.
He is going to get hurt. Shawn McCormick from Game Plus Television in Toronto says, it's fine, Darren. I'm the same way with beer. I'm a beer snob. But like you, I'll drink anything that gets put in front of me. And something just flashed into my mind. We are going to Calgary to broadcast shows beginning tomorrow from the Best Western Premier Inn. And you were asking me if the guys that I used to go to college with in Calgary, if I still talk to them.
Yeah.
Which I do. So we used to play hockey in the Centennial Arena, for those of you people in Calgary that know that Twin Ice Arena in Calgary. And, of course, after the games, we would go up to the lounge. I was with a couple guys by the name of Craig Adam and Kevin Carius. You know those guys?
I do.
And Brian Duff, by the way, who's the host of Sabres TV. Buffalo Sabres Television. He hosts the games on Fox Sports up there. They were out of beer. We drank them out of beer. The kegs, which would come as a surprise to no one.
Yeah.
So we said, hey, they said, we're out of beer, guys. Can we interest you in anything else? We said, well, what about those drainage tubs? Like under the thing where the beer drains down into the 5-gallon. Yeah. They said, do you want that? We'll take it. We drank that.
They didn't charge you for it, I hope.
Of course not. They were going to throw it out.
Bob's your uncle.
So I don't think that qualifies as being a beer snob. What do you think?
Of course not. We'll take that 5-gallon pail and a side of penicillin.
Right. Those guys will all attest that actually, you should have seen the kid's face that was working behind the bar. He's like, you want what? Those drainage pails right there. They've been running beer off of for the last couple of weeks. Something about Calgary and beer. Like they talk about the beer at the Saddle Dome as heroin beers.
It's not bad. I could tell you a story about pumpkin rum.
Tell me.
That friends were fermenting pumpkins in their bathtub and made rum that nobody would drink, but we tried that and we drank that when we had to.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in the bathtub for 6 months.
How about that?
Yeah.
I see.
Survived.
From our viewers, Stacy Champagne I've drank that swill before, too. LOL. Stacy watching from Access Television World Headquarters. James in Border, Manitoba says Rod's drinking stories are great. More, please. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Shawn Simpson last hour, did you see him say that I got to write a book? And I said, I have started it. Then I started to think, does anybody want to read this? I'm starting to think they do.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Townin says, is the Liberty Lounge still at Mount Royal University? I feel like we need to go check this out.
We absolutely can. We absolutely can.
Let's take a break and come back with overtime. I feel like it's going to be raucous.
Yeah.
Final segment coming up. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And the Moose. It's the final segment. We've got almost a little over 8 full minutes here for Viewer Takeover. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And Jennifer's watching from the Four Seasons. She says she's at the fort winterizing. Safe travels to Calgary. See you all tomorrow. We'll be live from the Best Western premiere out by the airport Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe even Friday. By the way, the reason I said we've got 8 minutes left is that gives you time, wherever you're watching on Game Plus TV, to pick up your phone and text us a question, a comment, 306-840-8777. From the 647, Darren, that's the Toronto area.
Okay.
Is it possible Cam Newton is done for good? Not much interest so far from the 647. And I got to ask, be awesome if you left a first name, and I'll leave it in the phone. I'll put it in as a contact. Is Cam Newton done? What a wonderful question. We are 3 days away from NFL kickoff. Cam Newton hasn't signed. And on the weekend, I was listening to NFL radio with our good friend Zig Fracassi. And he had on Dallas Cowboys beat writer from something, Cowboys beat blog or whatever. And Zig said, why did the Cowboys not take a look at Cam Newton? You could have had him for so cheap. And Zig's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
And the reporter said that the Cowboys decided that Cam Newton was too old, and they wanted to go with a youth movement behind Dak Prescott. And I just thought, does every team in the National Football League think Cam Newton's too old? He's not expensive. What did he play? $700,000 in New England last year. What's the reason Cam Newton is not signed by anybody? Maybe Cam is waiting. He probably is waiting now that I think about it.
Everybody's set. Right now. Everybody's set. I don't think there's a team where Cam Newton's a huge upgrade at your starting quarterback position. And if he is, it's because you're sitting there with a young, inexperienced quarterback that you want to develop. So there's some upside there. We look at some of the places where Cam's been mentioned. I mean, if Houston wins some games and then something happens to their quarterback, because we know it won't be Shawn, then maybe Cam gets a call. But they're not going to invest in him in a rebuilding team. If Tua goes down in Miami, that's a team he's been linked to. If he goes down, Cam will get a call and be signed within hours. If I'm trying to think of, if Dak goes down and Dallas is competitive, they may not want to go with a young guy in a year they're competitive, so they may bring in Cam, right? I'm trying to think of other places. You know, the Denver Broncos are a quarterback away from being really competitive, from being really good. So there's some places here, but everybody's kind of set right now. I think if there's an injury in the first 3 weeks while teams are still competitive, or a good team deals with a quarterback injury at some point during the season, Cam will get a call. He's not done. He played really well last year before he got COVID, before he went through that. He was playing really well in camp, and in the preseason he was playing lights out. Cam's not done.
Well, I forget sometimes. That's why it's great to sit around and have coffee together and discuss these things.
Yeah.
Because as a guy that worked in the Canadian Football League for 20 years, you saw this. Veterans coming out of camp that were cut will sit around and wait for the call. Like, as you said, everybody's set. So this is a different way of saying it.
Yeah.
The ball's in Cam's court. But people are looking at it going, why hasn't he signed? Is he done? Right. So he's sitting, waiting for the right opportunity. And I will never, ever, ever forget. I was telling somebody this the other day. Kelly McCrimmon said when he went from the Brandon Wheat Kings to the Vegas Golden Knights that he goes, they're not doing anything different in the NHL than we are in Major Junior. It's just to scale. So what's going on with Cam Newton is no different than what all my CFL buddies were doing all those years.
That's right.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
And the viewers are writing in, Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says Houston Texans. But they've made their decision. They already had Tyrod Taylor on the roster.
Yeah.
T-Mobile. They just named him their starter yesterday. And incidentally, they've been ranked as the worst team in the NFL anyway, so they might just bite the bullet.
And they would have to do some monumental winning early and be in contention to think about Cam Newton. Because if you're a team that's out of the playoff picture, you're not going to spend those reps and that time having an older quarterback play. That's when you want to develop a young guy and get some players some reps. So it won't be Cam unless Houston does the unthinkable, wins a bunch of games, and then deals with an injury to Tyrod.
Rennie Fazer, watching on Facebook, says Cam Newton has to be better than Andy Dalton. But, sure. But again, if you've been watching what we've been saying here, the Bears have committed to Andy Dalton. And then behind him, they've committed to Justin Fields. So Andy Dalton's not going to play 17 games. At some point, maybe, well, look at last year with the Miami Dolphins when Ryan Fitzpatrick started the year. Mm-hmm. And then they went with Tua Tagovailoa halfway through the year. And we had a Dolphin on this show, Sam Aguavin, and I asked him, how did you feel about that change? He's like, we were rolling.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Didn't like it?
Yeah, the only way Andy Dalton doesn't. Now, he'll be in there until he gets hurt.
Probably, unless, I mean, they got the Rams in week 1, I believe, and they've got maybe the best defense in the National Football League. So if he comes out and plays really badly, takes a beating, they may go to Justin Fields. They're pretty high on him, but they don't want to put him into the fire right away. And they probably want to save Justin Fields from having to play that LA defense in week 1. And they go through, I think, 3 or 4 really tough games. That's not a way to start your NFL career, just to get thrown to the wolves and get destroyed and have no confidence. So letting Andy Dalton take the early shots.
From Northside YEG watching on YouTube says Moncrief to the Elks is huge. Oh, yeah. The Elks are coming off the mat. Not that they were ever really down, but I thank Derek Moncrief for informing me yesterday, and I did break that story. A lot of people upset that he didn't sign with his former team, Saskatchewan, but it is what it is. A quick sports update. Canadian teen Lila Fernandez will battle for a spot in the U.S. Open semifinals today. The 19-year-old from Laval faces number 5 seed Elena Svetlina of Ukraine, and also Montreal's Felix Auger-Aliassime. Close enough? He's young, too.
Close enough. He is young,
I've been watching enough of it. Yeah. I have, Moose. He'll battle unseeded 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz of Spain in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
People are really getting into this.
Big time.
The Blue Jays go for a 6th straight win when they take on the Yankees in the Bronx today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slammed his 40th home run of the season yesterday as Toronto blanked New York 8-0. It's Steven Matz going to the mound for the Jays against the Yankees' Garrett Cole. And Dodgers lefty Clayton Kershaw is expected to return to action today. The 33-year-old has been dealing with elbow inflammation, but is scheduled to pitch 3 innings in a rehab stint in AAA Oak City. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, thanks Shawn Simpson, thanks Rich Sutter, thanks Moose.
Thank you.
And this entire crew. Welcome to our interns, Olivia and Andrew, is their first day today. Then we won't see you for a week. We'll see you live from Calgary tomorrow at noon Eastern on Game Plus, 10 a.m. Mountain. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.